Good afternoon. Good afternoon, team. My name is Lauwz. I'm a student at Green K University, Master's in Cybersecurity program. Today, I will be providing you guys with a presentation in regard to what we call a phishing email. So this project requires that I research 500 company, and the main goal is to pick a person within that company and try to target that person. So the company that the company that I decided to research is ExxonMobil. It's a pretty big company. It's been around since the 1970s, and it's a pretty large company. It's a global company. The first step that I did in this process was is research the company and also pick and choose who in that company was gonna be my target. However, though after choosing that process, the next step was to use different type of tools that would help me to be able to conduct what we call a passive recon, trying to get as much as information about the person that I'm trying to get to without alerting that person, basically getting passive information, things that are all available on the internet, things that I don't have to physically hack into a system or anything like that to get this information. It's passive, it could possibly be. One of the great tools that I use with Maltego, which I will provide you a screenshot of that. From the Maltego, I was able to use, from Maltego, I have multiple tools within it that I was able to utilize to be able to get those passive information, get information on my target. One of the great tools that I used was the Lauwz framework. That Lauwz framework is a pretty big tool. It provided me with a lot of different resources that I was able to gather all the information that I needed to do. After utilizing all this information, I was able to get the information that I would need to be able to conduct my my attack. The person who was my target is the vice president of ExxonMobil. His name goes by Neil Sharpman. He's been at the company for over 20 years. So the attack that I came up with is called a phishing. It's called a spear phishing attack, which actually means that it's a type of attack that's more direct into that person, and it's not so phishing emails in general. It's a type of social engineering attack. So there's different type. There's spear phishing, there's well phishing, there's different type, but this one is called a spear phishing, which means I've picked this person, and my goal is to figure any possible way for me to use that person within that company and to try to get the information that I'm trying to get from that person. If I'm trying to hack into the company, trying to get into the company's network or system, I'm gonna do that through that person using a form of social engineering, which is spear, which is the type that I pick is called a spear phishing. So that's basically the definition of spear phishing. Is basically using a type of social engineering, trying to trick the person into giving me some type of access to an area, or giving me some type of password or any confidential private information. Is basically using those tactics and those I guess you could say it's using some sneaky way in a way to basically get that person to do something that without them realizing that who I am in the process. The scenario that I picked myself was I was able to using the Lauwz framework. I was able to gather information about within the company, but also the company has this part as a department called the shareholder department. So which means any person who shareholders, they deal with the shareholders. So which is something that's very important. If you're dealing with any company, I'm pretty sure they care about the shareholders. So I figured this would be something that I could use as a social engineering spear phishing. I figured that type of spear phishing would actually work. So I conducted an email, basically acting as if that email is coming from the shareholder from ExxonMobil department, reaching out to the vice president, basically stating that, greeting, Mr. Senior Vice President. I am writing from the Shareholder Relation Department to inform you there's an agent murder. So I'm basically, I'm putting some urgency into it. So you understand, hey, we need to do this right now, real quick. So I'm pushing him where he doesn't have enough time for him to go maybe call the department or trying to figure if this is real or not. I try to make it believable, and at the same time, I'm trying to encourage them to do this in a fast manner. So I said, okay, I'm calling from with the agent manager. Please use this link to schedule a remote conference. I would really appreciate it. I would appreciate it if you could do this, could get this done as soon as possible due to the sensitive nature of the matter. So I'm basically telling him, hey, listen, there's a time frame. This is time sensitive. Let's get this done. So, and in addition to that, I make sure that I use that he's seen the emails coming from the company, because it's shareholder at ExxonMobil. That's one part. Okay, that right there, that right there won't get his attention. You'd be able to say, okay, this is more like an email, not possibly an internal email. And I also in the link that he's seeing, that it also showing that it's a shareholder ExxonMobil. But I did a little bit of a trick where within the email itself, it's the ExxonMobil, an extra O. A lot of the time when you're doing the type of phishing email, type of social engineering, the person is seeing something that looks familiar to them. Even if you go on a website, I look like a website is a legitimate website. You want to look as legitimate as possible. So this is the reason. But sometimes they mix a small error. It could be an extra A, extra O. That sometimes could get the person not to be alert of something's malicious. So once you click that email, my goal is with this link, that will provide me with a backdoor into his network. So I'll be able to see his keystroke. I'll be able to listen to audio, all these different things. My goal is to be able to get access. Once you click on that link, that will give me access without even him knowing what's going on. So this is basically what I'm trying to do to the spear phishing email. If he could possibly fall for that. Okay. So lastly, although so the last part of this is that it is as a pen tester, your job is to go to a company and it's you to find a certain loopholes, certain weakness, vulnerability within the network of the company. But at the same time, there are also legal and ethical things that comes with that. Legally, you have to get access, and in addition, you cannot go past what you've been authorized to access, to test, or to see what kind of vulnerability it does have. You have a clear permission before you could possibly do that. That's the legal aspect of it. And we go to the Christian way. God says, all shall not steal, cheat, steal, what was it? Yeah, all shall not steal, lie, or cheat. So obviously, ethically, and also in God's eyes, if you have not given permission, you should not go into something, because somebody come ask you now, you have to lie about that. And if you attacking somebody's system, trying to steal something, obviously, that is you going against God rules and laws and commitment. You should not steal. So, from my point of view, as a pen tester, if you're a person of for religious reason and legal reason, you shouldn't do something unless you've been authorized to do it. Even if you've been authorized to get into the system, there's a limit to that. You should stay within the perimeter which you have been provided. That's my view on that. That you should stay within your ethical and legal boundaries. And we go to that. And lastly, to come back to the top, spear phishing, that's the goal, is to basically, it's a social engineering type of attack. Our goal here is we're trying to get the vice president to click on that link and for us to be able to get access. But to do so, we have to be able to convince him by using these different techniques to get him to basically do this without realizing, hey, this may be malicious. Don't give him the time. So we put in some type of urgency into it. And the fact that his shareholders, which means this is something very important with any different companies. It may be something very serious. It's something that's very urgent. This is exactly why I went with the shareholder aspect of it. But our goal is to put pressure on them and trying to get them to do this as fast as he can. Hopefully, not following the rules that's been applied regarding to avoiding this type of spear phishing emails. So hopefully that the president click on our link, and then the attack could continue. And well, thank you very much. Okay, thank you.